Have you ever caught yourself feeling like your brain is a malfunctioning movie projector, looping horror films of your own mistakes? Sometimes, everything in life seems fine, but there's this constant static noise of anxiety in the background, like an old radio you just can't turn off. You find yourself chewing over conversations that have already ended, analyzing every look, and replaying every sentence, blaming yourself for looking weird or saying the wrong thing. In these moments, you become the director, the lead actor, and the harshest critic of your own shameplay. The worst part is that, rationally, you know the issue isn't worth this much energy, but your heart still races, and your mind stays stuck in a never-ending what-if loop. What if I made a mistake? What if they think poorly of me now? What if one wrong decision, one awkward move, or one accidental word ruins my entire future? If this sounds familiar, you aren't broken. You're just a human being whose security system is running on a setting that's way too high. The truth is, your brain was never designed to make you happy, calm, or fulfilled. Its sole, fundamental goal is to keep you alive. This is an evolutionary mechanism passed down from ancestors who lived in the wild. Back then, anxiety was your best friend. It helped you spot a tiger in the bushes or sense a shift in the tribe leader's mood. The dangers were physical hunger, cold predators. In that world, worrying was life-saving because caution equaled survival. Today, there are no real tigers in your room, but the mechanism remains unchanged. Your brain now perceives low engagement on social media, a critical comment, or a seen but unanswered message as a direct threat to your life. For our subconscious, being rejected by the social tribe still feels like dying alone, which is why we react so painfully to every tiny detail that grazes our ego. The most insidious part of this trap is our tendency to confuse our thoughts with objective reality. Your brain is a prediction machine, and those predictions are often catastrophic. You think, "I seem boring to them," and your body immediately triggers a chemical reaction as if it were a proven fact. Your muscles tense up, a lump forms in your throat, and your breathing quickens. In that moment, you make a critical logical error. You tell yourself, "Since I feel so bad and scared, I must have actually done something terrible." But a thought is just an electrical impulse in your cerebral cortex, not the ultimate truth. It's just one of a million scenarios your internal editor spliced together out of thin air. Think about how many times in your life you've been dying of fear before an event that ended up being completely uneventful. We spend 90% of our energy fighting catastrophes that will never happen in reality. Often, the main fuel for this endless anxiety is our inner perfectionist. If you grew up believing that love and respect had to be earned by being right, convenient, or the best, then any mistake feels like an existential collapse. We hold on to our worries because it feels like a form of control, as if by thinking through the worst-case scenario 1,000 times, we are somehow preparing and protecting ourselves. But this is a dangerous illusion. Worrying doesn't give you control, it only drains your resources, taking away the strength you could have spent on creativity or rest. Furthermore, we often fall victim to the spotlight effect. We feel like the whole world is watching us, noticing every blemish or every uncertain tone of voice. In reality, everyone in this world is busy broadcasting their own movie. Other people are so immersed in their own insecurities and fears that they simply have no room left in their heads to spend hours analyzing your random actions. To them, you are just a background character, while in your own head, you feel like you're standing in a dot. To break this cycle, you need to learn to draw a clear line between a real problem and the digital noise in your head. A real problem has an address, a deadline, and a specific way to be solved. An imagined problem is always an abstract what if in the future or a hopeless I should have in the past. The next time you feel yourself being pulled into the whirlpool of thoughts, stop and take a short pause. Ask yourself directly, is this a fact that I can see with my own eyes, or is this a version created by my tired brain? If it's just an assumption, you have every right not to believe it. Allow yourself to be imperfect, weird, or awkward. In fact, people are drawn to those who are sincere and real, to those who can laugh at their own fails, rather than to flawless, cold robots. Your true strength isn't in never being afraid or never making mistakes, but in seeing your fear, acknowledging its presence, and moving forward anyway. Remember that sometimes we worry too much simply because we are exhausted. Your brain is a complex instrument, and when it doesn't get enough sleep, silence, or simple rest, it starts throwing errors in its code, turning every molehill into a mountain. Sometimes the best way to defeat anxiety isn't to think it through even deeper, but to just close the laptop, put down the phone, and give yourself a break. Most of the things you can't sleep over today won't even be remembered a year from now. They will dissolve in time, like bad takes that didn't make the final cut. Your life isn't the script you're afraid to mess up. It's what is happening to you right now while you're reading these lines. Don't let fears that exist only inside your skull steal reality from you. You have the right to make a mistake. You have the right to be yourself. And that is more than enough.